It's Unit 1, Week 3, Question 7, Early Battles of the Revolution. So essentially you've got the redcoats against the colonists, except the colonists didn't have little trained uniforms, didn't go all that well. Let's put this very easily. What was the one word Washington learned early on in the wars? That would be retreat. Retreat, retreat. Because frankly the British, well, they had an army, they were superior in the military force and just about everything else. So the little red guys are definitely trouncing the Americans early on, for the most part. Long before you get Washington, the noble, elegant leader of Federalist power, the fact this painting's ever going to get painted, highly unlikely. The British are trouncing Washington in just about every way. They push him out of Washington manages to push the British out of Boston briefly by surrounding them on a hill and firing from Dorchester Heights down on the city of Boston, symbolically helpful. But for the most part, major battles, he gets pushed back. Battle of Long Island, he gets pushed out of. They go into retreat way out into Pennsylvania. Turns out 1776 looks like the war's going to be kind of over. Armies don't fight during the winter because, that's just not what armies do. And the soldiers have to go home. So his enlistments are going to end at the end of December of 1776. And who's going to show up again to volunteer to fight for money paid by Congress in paper money that nobody wants for a war that they're not winning? Probably not a lot. So he's in kind of desperate straits. So he makes this final famous move. Washington crosses the Delaware. Fill in every cheesy Americanized thing of the previous. This is Edmund Lutz, almost 100 years later, memorializing this famous crossing. Trust me, no one was posing in such a perfectly, framed design style. They were freezing. Washington decided to do something you don't do. A, fight in the winter. B, fight on Christmas Day. That's just not sporting, as the British might say. So he crosses the Delaware River, freezing. Troops unsupplied. Christmas. Remember I said his troops are going to, if they haven't deserted yet, they're going to leave on December 31st. So it's Christmas, December 25th, 1776. At Trenton, New Jersey, they cross the river. They capture a large collection of Hessians, German-speaking, there was no nation of Germany yet, mercenaries who were hired fighting for the British. They capture 700, 900 of them. What are they doing? They're drunk at a Christmas party. They wheel a cannon into the end of town, point it downtown. It's not a very difficult battle to capture a bunch of folks who don't presume they're fighting and they're having a Christmas party. But it's a huge symbolic morale boost for the Americans. Then they move on and they fight at Princeton. Why? I guess they didn't get in and they couldn't, and Harvard wasn't good enough. No. All right. Town of Princeton, New Jersey, where the college is today, is a second colonial victory. These are not major military victories. Capturing a few hundred drunk dudes at a Christmas party does not equate with an independent nation. But morale-wise, they're huge. They help sustain Americans' willingness to support and continue. And at the same time, Thomas Paine, remember the propagandist, goes on to write his second major work called The Crisis. These are the times that try men's souls, whether the summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will stand or run up. In other words, will the fair weather fans run away when times aren't good, or will they hold tight? Well, with that, so you've got propaganda on one side, but more importantly, wow, the colonists actually won a couple battles. Maybe they can survive. Remember, they don't have to win the war. They just have to convince Britain to stop fighting. And for this is a momentary morale boost, which without it, probably this mission would have been lost. That's it from some dude in a Hawaiian shirt, and thanks for joining the Happy House of History.